Scored on the knockdown. Another good left hand in by SOTO. Many of the judges here may have scored that a 10-9 knockdown because Vizzio wasn't hurt all that bad. SOTO lands a good left hook. Vizzio with a left hook.
As you pointed out, Joe, Vizzio slapping with his punches.
Vizzio just not as crisp as we saw him in his last fight. It's been since October. Good right hand by Vizzio. Good left hook by Vizzio. Good round kick by Vizzio.
If he had landed that right hand, it could have been good night, Katie.
Left jab, stiff. Both fighters. Vizzio throws the left jab, doubles up on it, gets inside, and then covers up.
SOTO is ducking under those kicks. Paul has got to set them up or those kicks will just keep going over SOTO's head.
Good right hand in by Vizzio. Still not putting his full body behind it.
Well, that brings to a close round number 9. We have 3 rounds left.
You got 7 kicks, you got to get 9 the next time.
That will cause SOTO to lose 1 point on each one of the judges' scorecards, and he'll have to get 9 kicks in this round in order to make up. There was SOTO's best punch of the round. Vizzio came back and landed 4 or 5 good punches later in the round.
That kicking penalty is going to be a problem for SOTO. He loses 1 point for the missed kick. And he has to make that kick up. He's got to kick 9 times this round. There's no excuse for that, Joe. He could have kicked that last time.
Well, he may just not have known. It wasn't that he was out of shape. He just may not have paid attention because he hasn't been having trouble with his kicks. Give that last round to Vizzio 10-9 because he did land more punches. Now he's starting to find his mark a little better. And since SOTO lost a point, I now have it 1 point less for SOTO, 88-87 Vizzio. That kicking penalty loss, point loss could be very dangerous. Dangerous. Disastrous for Joe SOTO.
Hard to tell if Vizzio is doing this on purpose, getting in close and tying SOTO up, trying to keep him from kicking, knowing that he has to kick 9 times in this round.
SOTO slipping a lot of those left jabs still of Paul Vizzio. Vizzio has not fought quick pace. He reaches out there. Something we saw him do a lot last year in Atlanta. Gets in close like that, and then you see the hands go out. Jay Will has not warned him yet, as far as I know.
That was a stiff left hook. Vizzio landed on SOTO's jaw. Paul Vizzio, the champion in black.
Good left jab in by SOTO. Then their heads cracked together. And a cut. A cut now on the left eyebrow, Paul Vizzio, as their heads crack together.
Referee Will checking the eye to see if the cut is bad. It didn't look bad from here, but it just started. Vizzio knows it happened with the heads banging together.
He warned SOTO for getting the head up, but that was not SOTO's fault. They both crashed their heads into one another. That was not any fault of Joe SOTO when their heads moved together.
There you see Vizzio ducking down. That's what causes those headbutts.
Vizzio trying to get some spunk, some spirit going.
That's the end of 10. We have 2 rounds left. Let's see what happened when they bang their heads together.
Stay on the outside, keep the left hand up. You got the fight, okay? Just keep this round going, all right? Hold that there, hold it. Okay.
We're ready now for round number 11. We're into our final 2 rounds. Eddie Andahar, an expert at stopping the bleeding. Vizzio looking like he wants to finish this fight in the 11th round.
Good left jab then by Vizzio. Had that last round dead even again, so I've got it 98-97. Vizzio ahead just by 1 point.
That 1 point being the penalty that Soto got for not making his minimum kicking requirement.
Both challengers on this evening's cards showing very well for themselves. The fighting style of Vizzio and Joe Soto are just not matching up. That was a good stiff jab then by Soto.
Soto is now planning that left hook. As Vizzio moves in, he waits and slams the left hook in. One jab, and then Vizzio reaches in, touches chest. That's a favorite move right there, wrapping his head around his neck and then moving it before the referee gets there to tell him to break.
Vizzio reaches out with his arms, wrapping around. That's what stops the action in there originally. Vizzio, nice sweep by Vizzio. Tried to follow with a left hook. The hook missed. Fairly complex move.
Vizzio reached to bump gloves, and Soto swung the right hand. One round remaining.
This has been the hardest fight I've seen in a long time to determine a winner on individual rounds for. You ask yourself who is the most effective fighter, then you ask yourself who is the most effective kicker, and we just don't have that happening. It's like Soto's kick counter has only got 6 cards showing for him in that round. That means he'll lose 2 more points on each one of the judges' scorecards.
That's going to be a tremendous shame if
so far Soto will have lost 3 points for not getting enough kicks.
in a fight this close, losing 3 points on penalties could cost the fight.
Jay Will just told Soto he was going to have to kick 10 times in this round.
Crowd reacted to that missed kick because they like the fancy kicking style of Vizzio.
Had the last round dead even again, 10-10. So you take away the 2 points that Soto lost, and I've got him behind now by 3. 108-105.
Vizzio putting the pressure on. He does not want Soto to be able to kick.
Remember, Soto's got to throw 10 kicks in this round.
He has completed 6 of those 10.
Left jab then by Soto, or by Vizzio, caught Soto coming in. Soto needs 1 more kick to meet his minimum of 10 for this round. He's reached his minimum 10. The action stays the same as it was in the first round. The fighters get close, tie each other up. Vizzio just not as sharp in this bout as we've seen him. Joe Soto, who knocked out both his opponents in the first round, the last 2 fights that we saw, has not been able to pick up Vizzio's timing. The Vizzio with a right hand, then their heads clash together.
There's the bell for the end of the fight. It goes to its natural end, and we have to go to the judges for their decision in order to find out who the winner is. But remember, if you're scoring at home, There were 3 points subtracted from Joe Soto during the course of the fight. That means that if it's that close, he could be losing the fight on that penalty. We'll be back with the decision here in El Paso, Texas, right after these messages.
We're back at ringside now, awaiting the decision. Let's go to center ring to house announcer Paul Strelson.
We do want to tell you before we announce the scores that Joe Soto received a deduction of 3 points from each judge for missing his kicks. Here is the score. Judge Worley calls it 117-112. Judge Willis 119-110. Judge DeGennaro 119-112. For the featherweight champion of the world, Paul Vizzio.
So Paul Vizzio retains his crown one more time. And we've seen Paul Vizzio several times throughout this series, and Jay, he always seems to get the job done.
Well, Art, I've been in the ring many times with Paul Vizzio, as a referee, of course. And I could tell you he is a very street and ring-wise fighter. He never wastes motion. He always impressed me as a fighter who does just what it takes to win. Even though Vizzio may have made it look easy, Joe Soto is no pushover. He's knocked out his last 2 opponents.
So Vizzio's ring generalship proved to be too much for Joe Soto, and Vizzio continued to reign as champion. We'll take you now to Atlantic City, where the dynamic and charismatic Paul Vizzio challenges new powerhouse Cliff Magic Thomas for the PKA Super Lightweight Championship of the World. Phil Stone and Bill Superfoot Wallace called the action.
And here we go, Bill, round 1. What do you expect from the fighters in this fight?
I would think Vizzio, being the technician he is, will try to just work some combinations, but he goes right at him. I think Cliff will just kind of see what happens at first.
Vizzio is certainly known for his aggressiveness.
But I think Cliff will kind of just see what he's going to try to do. Again, Cliff is fighting southpaw or right side forward, and I think he's going to catch a couple times Paul coming in.
Well, when you fight from the southpaw stance, everything comes from the opposite way. Nothing is right.
Right, and then, you know, like, you'll work this movement, and then it'll be different because it's not the same as when you fight a right side. Good kick, good kick.
The world champ, Cliff Thomas, has an excellent left hook. Vizzio puts Thomas against the rope, spins him out of the corner.
I think Paul has to watch out for the hand combinations because as tall as Cliff is, he's still very good on the inside.
Thomas, the black fighter. Vizzio, the United States champion, the white fighter. Less than a minute to go in the opening round.
There was a good judo chop.
Good round kick by Thomas. One thing we should point out, Bill, is these fighters can use their hands and feet virtually any way they want to, as long as they keep their kicks above the waist.
Right. The sweeps are not allowed, throws are not allowed, but strikes to the back of the neck, to the head, to the back are legal.
Less than 30 seconds to go, round 1. Good right jab by Thomas. Vizzio trying to back Thomas into his corner. Roundhouse kick misses. Thomas looks a little disgusted with the act. Less than 10 seconds to go. Opening round. The main event. Super Lightweight World Championship. Bill Stone with Bill Wallace. This is the main event. The PKA Super Lightweight World Championship. The U.S. champ Paul Vizzio on your right against the world champ Cliff Thomas.
Again, Paul has to bridge that gap extremely quick because of Cliff Thomas's extreme height. Again, the kicks are far short because all Cliff Thomas has to do now is lean back.
Thomas trying to utilize that side kick. There's another one right to the midsection.
Good side kick that time.
Another one in the midsection, and then he catches Vizzio with a left-right combination. Oh, there's a stiff left to the face.
Good, strong side kick coming out. It doesn't score, but it keeps his opponent honest.
You've got to wonder how many of these kicks and punches Vizzio will take tonight in the way he fights.
Good right hand by Vizzio. Good right hand by Vizzio. Again, Cliff has a tendency to keep his guard down a little bit. Maybe that's so he can see. Maybe that's so he can use his left hand.
Less than a minute to go in round 2.
Good jab.
Right jab.
Good jab.
And Paul Vizzio's right eye is beginning to redden.
Again, these fighters are using 8-ounce gloves, whereas the welterweights and above use the 10-ounce gloves.
There's a good left hand, floors Vizzio. Good stinging left hook.
He spun him around, and then when Vizzio dropped his guard, in came the left hand.
Vizzio with the 8 count. They'll come right back out. Opening round action. Pardon me, second round action. Vizzio trying to break out of the clinch. There's a good side kick by Vizzio. Good, 2 good right hands, and now he's got Thomas on the ropes, and Thomas fights his way off. A great round there for the champ as he connects and really hammers Vizzio to the turf, Bill.
Right. They were both against the ropes, and then they spun, and Cliff Thomas caught him with a good straight left hand right on the snout.
Let's take a look at the punch that floored the United States champion. Here it comes from the champ, Cliff Thomas.
Here they go against the ropes. Cliff backs against ropes. There he is now, right there, kaboom. Good, sharp punch.
And Vizzio, with a record of 15-1, is not used to being on his backside very often.
Not often at all. I think that's one of the only times I've ever seen him knocked down.
There you see a great close-up of Vizzio. Handlers talking to him, undoubtedly telling him to watch the jabs. Both fighters up, ready to go in round 3. Here we go, third round action. The main event from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Full stone with Bill Wallace. The U.S. champ, Paul Vizzio, trying to become the world champ if he can beat Cliff Thomas today.
It's a good defensive side kick by Cliff. I think it's interesting to note also in Cliff Thomas's corner is the #1 contender in the light heavyweight division in Jeff Smith, and the ex-first #1 contender in Paul Vizzio's corner is Emilio Narvaez. I fought him in 1977.
Each fighter with some great talent in his corner. Vizzio, the white fighter, Thomas, the black fighter.
Paul is throwing a lot of techniques, but again, you can see Cliff catch him on the gloves.
Vizzio is an excellent technician.
He's got a lot to do, though. He does that, bridge that gap, whereas Cliff Thomas can just reach out with a kick.
Oh, a great
left roundhouse kick.
A roundhouse kick towards Vizzio. And as you see, he's holding his right ear.
I think he caught him right in the ear. Could have popped his eardrum.
Vizzio trying to stay up here in round 3. Been down twice in this fight, once in the second round and now here in round number 3.
Good combination, good combinations to the body. I think Paul's getting just a little flustered now. His eyes are blinking a little bit.
Oh, another left hook. And a good front kick, another good left hook, and down goes Thomas.
I think it was the wrestle him down.
It will not count. Another good left hand by Thomas. And will go down as a slip. No knockdown, less than 10 seconds to go here in round 3, and it has been all Cliff Thomas. A spinning back kick does not land. Vizzio in trouble here as we approach round 4. He has been down twice. Round 4 for the PKA Super Lightweight World Championship. The world champ, Cliff Thomas, against the U.S. champ, Paul Vizzio. Bill, how do you have it scored thus far through 3 rounds?
Well, you have to give it to Cliff. I think Cliff's got it by 2 rounds. He's got a 30-28. Simply because of the knockdowns. He's very cool. He has some good kicks, good combinations. I think he's kind of frustrating Paul Vizzio because he's, again, a southpaw fighter, and he's got very good strength for as tall as he is.
Both fighters there trying to exchange the side kick, and he really backs Thomas up with a good left hand. A good right jab. Bill, what tires a fighter more? Consistently kicking him or consistently punching him?
I think it's the pressure. You can get an opponent to keep pressure on you, and you'll make yourself tired just by trying to think and knowing that that guy's going to hit you in a minute.
Vizzio victimized there by a good left and right before Thomas falls off balance. No knockdown. Less than a minute to go in round 4. Cliff Thomas, a record of 17-2 with 8 knockouts. Vizzio 15-1 with 5 KOs. A good left hook, an overhand left scores. Just a side kick, throws Vizzio off balance momentarily. He comes right back at him, tries to throw the looping right, will not land.
I think you'll notice also that Paul, a lot of times when he's throwing his punches, is off balance because basically the balance of the left-right side fighter.
Thomas goes down in the middle of throwing a kick. It will not score as a knockdown. Vizzio now trying to keep Cliff Thomas off balance, trying to get the fighter off balance. Moves in a couple of good punches and a good left leg.
Paul has a little mouse under his right eye.
Thomas feinting with the jab. Good right hand to the face. Less than 10 seconds to go here in round 4. To the body goes Vizzio. Fifth round action, Phil Stone and Bill Wallace. And this is the PKA Super Lightweight World Championship. Bill, how do you have it scored by round so far?
I think Cliff has it by about 3 rounds right now. I would say I would give him 50 to probably 30, 39. Or excuse me, 40, 40, 47.
About 3 to 4 points.
Yeah. Again, Cliff is getting that side kick in when Paul is trying to close that gap because it's coming up from the floor rather than coming up and then out.
We talked about Vizzio's aggressiveness, and there he's trying to put Thomas on the ropes. That Cliff comes right off of him.
This looks like it could be a good round for Paul. He's again, the more aggressive, but Thomas is picking his shots. Again, another side kick that pushes Paul away.
Each fighter must land 8 kicks per round, and that alone has to tire a fighter out.
Oh, definitely. And these 2 fighters are averaging pretty close to 12, 13 kicks per round.
Less than a minute to go here in round 5. Vizzio, the only visible signs of the fight so far, a small bruise under his right eye. He has a good right hand to Thomas's stomach. Tries to go upstairs, catches him with a right hook.
Again, he's off balance when he's throwing it, so there's nothing really behind it. He's hitting him, but there's nothing behind it. Another good side kick by Cliff Thomas.
Thomas making the side kick work to perfection here today. Less than 30 seconds to go, round 5.
If you'll notice, when Paul steps in, he brings his left hand up, which opens himself up for the defensive side kick.
There's a spinning back kick that did not land, and Vizzio goes down. There's a good right hand by Vizzio. Cut Thomas back it up, and that scores. Good round for Paul Vizzio. Round 6, the world champ against Paul Vizzio, the United States champion. Vizzio lands a
good right hand. Good right hand.
Vizzio misses there with a roundhouse kick. Tries another with his front foot, does not land. Now that had to hurt Thomas. Vizzio again with a right hand, backs him up on the ropes. Cliff tries to fight his way out and does so. Cliff is landing that side kick very, very well to the midsection.
Yeah, and it's gaining respect from Paul, too, because you notice Paul's starting to keep his left elbow down. His side is a little red, so that's telling him it's getting in.
Both fighters missing with jabs and hooks. Vizzio with a good right hook to the body. Round 6, the main event, a Super Lightweight World Championship. What a fight it has been into the 6th round. Spinning back kick lands on Vizzio's chin, not very hard. Still have the world champ ahead, Bill?
Yes, sir. I've had him by about 2 rounds this time. I give that last round to Paul Vizzio simply because his aggressiveness, he landed more shots, but you still can't take away from the 2 knockdowns.
Vizzio's been down twice and maybe down a 3rd time. And I think
left hook.
Yes,
Good left hook.
The left hook put him to the canvas. And the referee, Jeff Ward of Columbus, Ohio, will administer the 8 count and wave them back at each other.
Again, being right side forward has really, I guess, flabbergasted Paul Vizzio. I've never seen him knock down. I've never seen him create the openings that he's creating on himself.
By right side forward, Bill is referring to the fact that Thomas is fighting in the southpaw stance.
Everything's coming the wrong way.
The wrong way. Vizzio backing Thomas up, cannot land a thing. Been a good round for Cliff Thomas again, putting Vizzio down. As we come to the end of round 6, it has been Cliff Thomas. Here we go, round 7. Paul Vizzio versus the world champ, Cliff Thomas. A main event from Atlantic City, New Jersey, as Vizzio puts Thomas up against the ropes. Thomas comes bounding off of him.
If you notice, when you see this, Paul Vizzio has to bridge such a long distance that the kicks fall far short, and then when he does fall down, he's within Cliff Thomas's range for that left hand.
Now, as you can plainly see, Vizzio, the smaller of the two fighters.
Good defensive side kick. Good side kick.
Side kick has unquestionably been Thomas's most effective kick in this fight.
Good, another defensive side kick to the chest. Nothing there, but it pushes him away.
The name of the game, to keep your opponent off balance. Whether you do it with punches, whether you do it with kicks, makes no difference as long as you can keep him off stride.
Right, if I hit you and you don't hit me, I win.
A good left side kick again by Thomas. Vizzio has to be frustrated here in round 7.
Good right hand by Paul Vizzio. Good right hand. Good combinations down low. But again, Cliff is coming back. Cliff is a very strong fighter for as tall as he is. Got a lot of torque, a lot of twisting force in those punches.
Vizzio trying to land to the body. Backs Thomas up. Cliff with a stinging jab right into the eyes of Vizzio. Paul Vizzio, the white fighter. Cliff Thomas, the black fighter. Tries that front kick, does not land.
Again, though, it keeps your opponent away. But
good right hand, backs Thomas up into the corner. Less than 10 seconds to go here in round 7. Vizzio with Thomas on the ropes can land nothing as round 7 comes to a close. Bill Stone with Bill Wallace from Atlantic City, New Jersey, the Super Lightweight World Championship, round 8. It is Cliff Thomas, the world champ, against the U.S. champ Paul Vizzio, and Bill Wallace through 7 rounds thus far. Is Vizzio's strategy right? This is his big chance at a title.
I don't think it is. He's trying to bridge that gap, and Cliff Thomas is waiting for him. He's in close. He's trying to mix it up. Cliff Thomas is too strong for him. He's trying to bridge a gap. He runs into a Cliff Thomas side kick.
Well, he's run into 2 side kicks that put him down in the first and second round, and then he ran into a good left hand from Thomas in round number 6. Vizzio has been down 3 times. Thomas has not been to the canvas once. We are in round 8. Vizzio to your left.
Either Paul Vizzio should stay right on Cliff Thomas's chest, or should stay away to where Cliff Thomas cannot reach it. Not within that no man's land.
Well, as we mentioned early on, Thomas has the reach. He is the taller and the longer reach of the 2 fighters. Under a minute to go, round 8. For the PKA Super Lightweight Championship. Here at ringside, Bill, and when you look at Vizzio, he is looking into Thomas's eyes. When you're looking at Thomas, he's looking at the waist of Vizzio.
Right. Again, different people watch different things. If you watch the eyes, you can be faked out. Again, you watch the chest, you watch the shoulders, you watch the waist. When they move, the whole body has to move. Again, it's where you were taught.
Less than 30 seconds to go here. And a side kick lands on Vizzio's chest.
It looks to me as if, after watching this for a while, if Cliff Thomas wants a good uppercut,
Right, Thomas.
Oh!
Uppercut, and down goes Vizzio. Oh, he landed. Here we go with round 9. Round 9. Paul Vizzio to the canvas 4 times so far in this fight. Are you surprised?
I'm very much surprised. I think Paul Vizzio is surprised also. I think he's disgusted with himself because everything is different. He's getting hit with things that he normally does not get hit with simply because the guy's fighting him wrong.
A good left kick catches Vizzio on the side of the head, knocks him off balance. Vizzio, the white fighter. The world champion, Cliff Thomas, the black fighter. Good right jab gets in. Vizzio tries to counter with a side kick to keep Thomas off balance. Bill, your scorecard through 8 rounds.
I give Cliff Thomas the edge quite a bit. I give Cliff Thomas 6 rounds.
Again, this fight's scheduled to go 12. They are in round number 9. Thomas seems to have an awful lot left.
Oh yeah, he doesn't seem tired at all. He has not lost his composure. He's ready. When Paul Vizzio throws a punch or a kick, all Cliff Thomas does is lean back. He's a good 2 feet frontward.
Good right jab by Vizzio, lands right on the cheek of Thomas. What do you think of Vizzio's strategy here in round 9?
Well, again, he's staying away from him. He's staying away and trying to pick his shots. But again, he's still close enough to Cliff Thomas to get hit. He should get in and get out of there.
Thomas still relying on that side kick to the midsection. Vizzio moves him against the ropes. Another good side kick, less than 30 seconds to go.
What Paul Vizzio is doing right now is bridging the gap for Cliff Thomas. He's doing the work for Cliff Thomas.
There you see it again. Thomas leaning against the ropes, just thrusts out that left foot and pushes Vizzio away from him. Oh, a good left combination. Explosive left hand, Bill. As round 9 comes to a close. Let's go to Vizzio's corner, and he's talking to his trainer, and I thought he
Don't think he wants anymore.
I thought he said I can't go again.
I think he doesn't want anymore. I think his trainer should listen to him. He's been knocked down 5 times. I think he's done. He's done. He's not going to keep fighting. He can't even stand up now. The trainer should not let him go on.
Paul Vizzio wobbling, and here goes his trainer across the ring. Let's take a look at it again. The right-left combination, Bill, that put him down. Right here it comes.
Right. Again, Paul's hands come up, but he's dropped it right there, and a very good left hand. Very good left hand.
It is over. It is all over. Paul Vizzio cannot continue. The winner, and still the PKA Super Lightweight World Champion, is Cliff Thomas.
As it turned out, Paul Vizzio had his jaw broken early on and had it broken a second time later in the fight. He's quite a tough little competitor, Joe.
I think tough is really an understatement, Art. Normally when your jaw is broken the way his was, you'd want to wait a full year before having it tested again. But Vizzio insisted 4 months later in fighting Thomas again. They met in Madison Square Garden and Vizzio won a unanimous decision. Thomas moved on up in weight and Vizzio still reigns as the champion in this division, which we now call the featherweight division. Thomas always wanted a 3rd match, Art, but it never happened.
With Juan the Ghost Warrior Torres beating Paul Vizzio for the PKC and KICK Lightweight Championship. Back with Don Wilson here. Right now, Vizzio goes into the ring having fought only twice since 1990. Is that inexperience going to hurt him, or is the experience he's had over the long run going to be a real plus for him tonight, Don?
Well, I know he's a very experienced fighter, but, you know, this layoff is disastrous for a fighter. I mean, he's had 5 fights in 2 years against non-ranked opponents, so it's going to hurt.
Now, as far as an advantage he hopes to gain over the younger Torres, what might be an advantage for Vizzio tonight?
Well, Vizzio says he's seen a weakness in Torres. You know, as odd as it is, you know, he didn't want to say anything bad about the guy, but he did say his defense was weak, and Vizzio wants to pick that apart.
Well, it's the young lion against the veteran, and any predictions from the Dragon?
Yeah, I predict it's going to be Torres by knockout.
Torres by knockout, and the young man will certainly look for a big night tonight. Juan Torres will be making his first title defense tonight after his January victory over former champion George Angot in Torres' hometown of Lake Tahoe. Now in the ring, he gets to live his lifelong dream as he faces the man he idolized when he first began his karate career. Here's a look now at Paul Vizzio, who won the KICK title only last October from Dale Fry in a 12-round decision. But the New York native, who came on with New York, must rally possibly one last time against his youthful opponent. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape tonight. With both of my fighters standing only 5'4", the major difference between the two lightweights is 17 years difference in their age, with a slight reach and weight advantage going to the younger Torres. The rules that will govern our World Championship fight tonight will be a 10-point must system scored by 3 judges at ringside. No standing 8 count. The 3 knockdown rule will be in effect, and only the referee can stop the fight. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell except in the last round, and a fighter must throw a minimum of 8 powerful kicks per round. And now our first title fight of tonight, Torres versus Vizzio, to unify the PKC and the KICK lightweight title. Here's our ring announcer, Jean-Paul Chartrand.
Et maintenant, pour le titre mondial unifié des poids légers de la PKC et Kick, PKA Karate, the Kick of the 90s et les productions Victor Thériault vous présentent un combat prévu en 12 rounds, dont l'enjeu est le championnat du monde des poids légers. And now for the unification of the PKC and Kick World Lightweight Crowns, PKA Karate, the Kick of the 90s, and Productions Victor Thériault present the Lightweight Kickboxing Championship of the World, scheduled for 12 rounds. Ce combat est présenté sous la juridiction de la PKA World Alliance et régi selon les règles de la Professional Karate Commission, Glenn Keeney, président, et le Karate International Council of Kickboxing, M. Frank Babcock, commissaire. PKA Karaté Mania 8 est aussi sanctionné par la Régie de la sécurité dans les sports du Québec. Mario Latraverse en est le commissaire. This bout is presented under the auspices of the PKA World Alliance and sanctioned by and conducted under the rules of the Professional Karate Commission, Mr. Glenn Keeney, President, and the Karate International Council of Kickboxing, Mr. Frank Babcock, Commissioner. PKA Karate Mania 8 is also sanctioned by the Quebec Sport Safety Board, Mario Latraverse, Chairman. Les juges pour ce combat sont Herb Johnson, Emilien Nadeau et Jeff Smith. Introducing our scoring judges at ringside, Herb Johnson, Emilien Nadeau, and Jeff Smith. Our referee for this bout, l'arbitre pour ce combat, Denis Langlois. Mesdames et messieurs, tout d'abord, dans le coin bleu, il est originaire de Ameco au Mexique et réside maintenant à South Lake Tahoe, en Californie. Il mesure 5 pieds 4 pouces et pèse 134 livres. Son dossier montre 28 victoires, 2 défaites et 1 verdict nul avec 15 victoires par KO. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing first in the blue corner, originally from Ameco, Mexico, now fighting out of South Lake Tahoe, California. He stands 5 feet and 4 inches tall and weighted in at 134 pounds. He has an American kickboxing record of 28 wins against 2 losses and 1 draw, with 15 of his wins by way of knockout. Il est le champion mondial des poids légers de la PKC et de la WKA. He is the PKC and WKA World Lightweight Champion. On le surnomme The Ghost Warrior. They call him The Ghost Warrior. Mesdames et messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, Juan Torres. Et maintenant, dans le coin rouge, un homme qui évolue sur les rings de la PKA depuis 17 ans et une légende vivante des arts martiaux. Il est de New York, où il vient de célébrer son 20e anniversaire au Vizzio Kung Fu Center. And now in the red corner, a man who has graced our PKA ring now for 17 years and a true legend in the martial arts world. He hails from New York City, where he has just celebrated his 20th year at Vizzio Kung Fu Center. Il mesure 5 pieds 4 pouces, pèse 133 livres et présente un dossier dans le karaté contact de la PKA de 39 victoires, dont 27 par KO et seulement une seule défaite qu'il a d'ailleurs vengée. He stands 5 feet and 4 inches tall and weighted in at 133 pounds. He has a PKA contact karate record of 39 wins against only 1 avenged loss, with 27 wins by knockout. Il est le champion mondial en titre des poids légers. He is the ringing kick lightweight champion of the world. Mesdames et messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, Paul Vizzio.
Oh, sir, rolling. Okay, sir, I explained the rule before. Remember, no low kick, no holding. Very important. In Montreal, you don't have a head-standing count. Okay, good fight, sir.
So the instructions are short and sweet. Let's hope the fight is going to be a long and enjoyable one, because Paul Vizzio and Juan Torres, Torres in particular, has watched Vizzio for a long time as he's watched this legend grow in 17 years. Would like to snatch a little bit of respect from him today, and a good look at the young man is called the Ghost Warrior. He's there and he's gone when they're trying to hit him, and that thus is the Ghost Warrior tag. What do you expect in the opening rounds here, Don, from these two guys that get after it for the PKC World Lightweight title?
Sam, these two guys are so experienced that they're not going to go all out in the first round. I expect they're going to feel each other out for a few rounds.
One of the things that both possess is great quickness. Despite being 42, Vizzio still is quick and crafty. And he'll use all the tricks of the trade tonight against the youngster Torres. Vizzio, as both are wearing the black pants, will clearly have Vizzio written down the right side of his legs, and JT will be the initials in the front of those of Juan Torres.
I'm surprised at Vizzio's start in this fight. He seems to be doing a little bit of showboating. Much too early in the fight for that.
Good solid round kicks. You can hear already landing with great velocity here early by both Torres and Vizzio. Good high heel kick that time by Vizzio, showing you still great flexibility by the 42-year-old from New York. Spinning back fist just missing by Torres.
I'm very impressed with Torres' concentration. He's got his eyes right on Paul Vizzio's chin, and he's just waiting for the right moment.
Vizzio said he wanted to give him a lot of angles and certainly a lot of movement. He has not gone against that game plan early, Don.
No, he hasn't. He did mention earlier that it looks to me like Juan's complaining of a low kick.
He actually got a kick right behind the calf of the right leg by Vizzio. All kicks must be above the waist.
Juan seems to be loading up on the right hand. Looks like he wants that to be his big gun.
Torres at age 25 turned pro in 1986 when he was only 17 years of age. Got a grudge match out of the way in his last fight to win the PKC lightweight title over George Angut in their rubber match. They had split in their first two. Bad blood existed in that particular matchup, but not so here. Both have given their respect throughout the round. And they have fought for round number one of the scheduled 12-rounder. Juan Torres, the youngster out of Lake Tahoe, California.
Nothing real good.
What? No power.
What?
Ain't got shit. So you pace yourself. Don't rush into it, man.
You're looking good. You heard it, man. You heard it.
I'm a little surprised Denis Langlois did not make a call. Let's watch this again.
Yeah, that was definitely a kick above the boot. Now in the PKA, they only allow boot-to-boot kicking. Basically, that would be considered a sweep boot-to-boot. But that was high, and I'm surprised he didn't get at least a warning.
And again, any other kicks above the boot must be above the waist. So again, clearly very close to being a foul there by Paul Vizzio, acknowledged by Torres as he turned and walked away. But in this case, no harm, no foul as they enter round two. Torres, with a 28-2-1 record, has knocked out 15 of his opponents as they fight to unify these two titles. While Vizzio, the veteran, now in his 42nd year of age, 39-1 with 27 wins by knockout.
Paul looks like he's getting down to business now. Looks like Vizzio's gotten out of the clowning mode.
Vizzio was clearly loose at our meetings we had before the fight. He said, hey, I've been down this road before. I've won a title. I know the youngster's going to come hungry for my blood tonight, but I'm going to do what I can do. And he says, I've got respect already in the game, and I'll earn some more tonight. And right now, he's doing so.